In a car accident trial, can the jurors at the end of the day after court is over go to the accident scene to see for themselves exactly what the intersection looked like? You want to know the answer? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney practicing law here in the state of New York. The answer is no, they cannot. The judge is going to tell them at the very beginning of the case, you are not to do your own outside independent research. You are not to go online to learn about the issues, to learn about the attorneys, to learn about the litigants, or even the intersection where this accident occurred. And he will also tell them, you are not to go to the scene of the accident. Now, let's say a juror does go to the scene. Will the judge ever find out? Because you may find one of the jurors sitting on the jury trying to decide this case says, you know what? I'm not getting enough information at trial. I want to go to the scene and see exactly for myself what's going on there. What's wrong with that problem? Well, there are a couple things. The first is that now the accident scene may look different. There may be things at that scene that are totally different than what it looked like on the day of the accident. So now, if one of the jurors does go out to the scene to see for themselves, how does the judge ever find out that that actually occurred? Well, one of the things that will occur, or what should occur, is that he will come back in the next day or the following day and tell the other members of the jury while they're waiting for court to start, hey, by the way, I went to the accident scene and this is what I saw, and this is my observation. And that's different than what the testimony was. What should happen is that the other members of the jury should immediately recognize that this juror disregarded the judge's specific instructions not to go to the accident scene. And that should prompt one or more of these jurors to notify the court, to notify the court officer, who will then tell the judge that the jurors have a problem. The judge will then interview those jurors to find out what the problem is. And when he learns that a juror has disregarded his instructions, there's a very good likelihood that that juror will be excused from the jury. And the jury is supposed to make these decisions about whether we are more likely right than wrong, based upon only the testimony and the evidence that comes in at court, in trial. That's what they're supposed to decide this case on, not their own independent research, not going out to the scene on their own. And that makes a big difference. So why do I share this quick information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on in these civil lawsuits involving accident matters and medical malpractice matters and even wrongful death matters here in the state of New York. You know, I realize you're watching this video because you likely have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but you have questions that need to be answered first, what I invite you to do is, you know what I'm going to say, right? Pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, this is something I do every single day, and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.